Good morning. It's 9 o'clock, November the 8th, 2021, and our regular Commissioners Court meeting is now in session. First item on the agenda is roll call by our County Clerk, Mary Jane Manoan. Good morning, Mary Jane.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Judge Rathmel.
Present.
Commissioner Mendoza.
Present.
Commissioner Elizondo.
Present.
Commissioner Solis.
Present.
And Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Next item is our invocation by Dr. Roger Miller, Commissioners Court Chaplain. Dr. Miller, good morning.
Good morning. If you bow your heads with me this morning. Father, we come together today to first thank you for the gift of life which you provided through your Son and his work in this world. Encourage us today to remember the great teachings of Christ, especially when he reminds us, blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. And allow us to truly understand that mercy is not an attitude, but an action. But Father God, we also come here today to seek the assurance of your involvement in the affairs of this county. And today we seek for our leaders your great gifts of wisdom, compassion, and understanding. Prepare our leaders this day with a clarity of thought and a clarity of purpose, which will guide our community through the days that lie ahead. Allow us never to forget from where true governing power lies as we seek to align our purposes and our plans with your guidance for this community. And again, Father, bless and prosper the work of this court as they listen to you in all matters. And we pray these things in the name of our Savior, Christ Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4, Communications Commissioners. Well, this weekend we did have the honor of having a visit from the Undersecretary of Agriculture for Rural Development, Ms. Xochitl Torres Mal, visit our community. I think it's the first for our county to have an undersecretary come down and visit with us, if not the first in a very long time. And she wanted to see firsthand how our agency will help small rural communities such as us. Accompanying her, of course, the Congressman Cueva was with her, and very fortunate to meet with him. Also accompanying her were the area supervisors, Joel Gomez for rural development, and his immediate supervisor, Mr. Michael Canales, and they discussed various funding opportunities that will be coming our way to rural communities with the infrastructure plan that was approved, I guess, last week in Congress. There's a lot of opportunities that will come down. I think they're stressing broadband, making sure that all rural communities are connected to the internet and have high-speed internet throughout our small rural communities. And as we know, rural development, I think every project, just about every project, whether it's water, sewer, medical, housing, rural development is the main funding agency for our small rural communities such as us. So it was so important for us to visit with them. She was so receptive to our needs. I think we discussed, of course, the need of enhancing our medical providers here in our area. She did pay a visit to our Gateway Clinic and to maybe bring additional funding to our community. I stressed the need, how lack of water availability in our county is such a concern to us. You know, thinking that we're the county seat of Falcon Lake, you'd think we'd have better access to water, but we don't. I mentioned to her, 60, 70 years of sedimentation on Falcon Lake has reduced the depth of Falcon, and currently we're struggling to bring good quality water, raw water, into our system. The Congressman did discuss the possibility of dredging Falcon Lake as we move forward as part of this infrastructure plan. So I think that would certainly help our situation. We discussed, of course, he visited, and she visited the Sister Shores Water District and how they're trying to improve their water system, their water plant, and she was very proactive as to how this funding can be attained. We talked about the need for small rural counties such as us and communities to have help in grant access and grant writing. we always seem to have not, you know, the ability to hire the best, and professional folks to help us. And so I think part of this bill will allow rural development to help small rural communities with their grant applications. Broadband was, I guess, the main topic. FSA, for our farmers and ranchers, we discussed the need of more staffing to those agencies, and the need of course, Zapata County, we lost our local office many years ago, and there was a need to maybe increase more accessibility to small areas. So I did request that our local office be brought back to our community, and the need that the ranchers and farmers need to not having to travel to I guess a central office that is understaffed and overwhelmed. So she understood that. EMS, Sheriff's Department, I want to thank Joe Penny. I know the Sheriff, you were out of town, but Joe represented your office very well, and we discussed about the need to better be able to communicate between the agencies, your department, and the trouble we're currently having with our current communication towers. And so that they are fully aware, and I believe there is funding coming down our way to address those needs. And I see Danny there. I think Victor represented you very well, Victor, in the meetings. We did also discuss. Let me see. I think one thing she stressed, and I think it's very important, is the interconnection of our water systems throughout our county and throughout the state, and not necessarily the rush to regionalize this into one water plant serving, but the ability to be interconnected. And I think and I mentioned to her that we are working on that, especially with Sister Shores. We're doing that interconnection, but that also was brought up, that there is I think a very beneficial aspect to being interconnected with our water systems, and so that was brought up. Of course, the water plant funding. Home remodeling, hope for our seniors. I think the programs that rural development brings, I think they are stressing those programs, and there will be. I think Mr. Gomez said that his office out of Hebbronville would be even more available to make sure that those funding opportunities to our locals, especially seniors and those in need, are fully met. I mean, it was a great meeting. Spent the whole day and she was such a nice lady who was, you could tell, was willing willing to listen and try to help. So I think having a good contact person as the head of the rural development is such an important aspect, and I certainly thank the congressman for making her available to us. And it was a very important meeting for us. All in all, Commissioners, it was a very good day. I know, it was short notice. We did reach out to Commissioners. I know some of you were out of town and unable to attend, but I think it was a very productive meeting with the Congressman. And Joe, I think, attended most of the roundtable discussions, and I think. And also I wanted to thank our new state rep who will be representing our area, Ryan Guillen. Was also there at those meetings, and appreciate he's always been a dear friend of Zapata County. So we'll see. We look forward to to being in his district once again. Communications, other communications. Danny, I know you give your biweekly report on our COVID. I think overall we're doing so much better, Danny. So there's certainly optimism in our community about trying to kick this COVID out of our county.
Yes, we are, Judge. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm going to start off basically with what we've done from 10/25 to today. The fire department, we did a total of 241 doses. 6 first doses, 8 second doses, 3 third doses, and 224 booster shots. So it has picked up significantly as far as vaccination. So total Moderna vaccines given since we started has been 3,189. We did do a total of 54 COVID tests. On the COVID test, Judge and Commissioners, I was told by TDM, because our COVID test expired, our kits expired on Friday. We knew they were gonna expire, so I've been in contact with them for the last 2 weeks. But TDM basically told us that TDM will no longer be providing the rapid test kits. He gave me a contact number through DSHS, that supposedly DSHS will take over testing.
Okay.
Not only providing the kits, but they're gonna do the testing. I spoke to a gentleman last week, and he was supposed to get back at me on Friday to confirm. They did not. I reached out again, and they didn't have an answer for us yet. So as soon as Commissioner's Court's over, I'm gonna reach out to them again. But as of right now, county providing COVID testing, no longer, as of right now. But that there is COVID testing available through the DSHS. But I'm still in the works of trying to get that.
And local clinics are not testing that?
Well, we still have Daniels, and we still have, Gateway.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
still testing.
but you need to call for availability, because Daniels doesn't have it every day.
Okay.
You know, I recommend people call before they go over there.
So the Zapata clinic's not testing?
Yeah, and the Zapata Clinic as well, I'm sorry, Zapata Clinic, Daniels, and, Gateway.
So no more free testing Tuesdays and Thursdays?
No, as of now, no, because our test expired on Friday. We do have tests available, but they're expired, so basically when we, upload them to the system or we put in the information, it does not let us do that anymore because they're expired. As soon as you scan the test, it tells you automatically that
It
test
won't
kit
be
is
accepted,
expired.
yes.
So
Okay.
we cannot use them, and we do have, over 1,000 available, but we can't use them, they're expired already. And like I said, I called beforehand to be prepared for this week to have some available, but they told me that TDM will no longer be providing the test kits. They gave us reference numbers so we can call, but we would have to purchase them. No longer will they be provided for free from the state. But there is free testing available through DSHS, and that's what I'm trying to get a hold of right now. And see if we can, book them for, 2 times a week or 3 times a week, or whatever's available, whatever they can do. But I'm still waiting for them to reach out.
So it would be back to the old way where they would send staff to, like at a testing site, like we would do it at the pavilion back then?
I'm guessing
If
so.
DSHS takes over?
Yes, I'm guessing so, but it's gonna be not a private entity, it's gonna be DSHS, which is the state. But I'm still waiting on their return, their calls to see how they're gonna do it, when they're gonna do it. But as soon as I find something out, I will definitely let all of you know, and we'll push it out so that people can know where they can go get their testing. And as far as the vaccines, as you all know, it's already been approved, the 5 through 11. We've been in contact with DSHS because we, as a county, we do not provide the Pfizer. We don't have the storage,
Right.
proper storage for Pfizer. So I am in talks with DSHS and with the school district. They already gave me a number of how many kids are willing to participate in getting the vaccine. And we placed an order through DSHS, not the fire department, of 250. We should be getting them this week. And I'm already in contact with the school to set up a vaccine drive of 250 more or less with the school so we can try and knock them out in one drive. But they have been, there's 2 entities, local entities that are vaccinating. They have been vaccinating since last week, and that is PPA Clinic, the pediatric clinic, and CVS. CVS started yesterday. With CVS, it is recommended that you do an appointment online, but not necessary. You don't need it. You can do it, you can go as a walk-in. But there have been a lot of people booking appointments online, so they basically told me that if they go as a walk-in and there's people with an appointment, they will have to wait.
Sure.
So it is recommended that they book an appointment, but not necessary. And PPA, they only give it Monday through Friday, from 1 to 4, only in the afternoons. But they're only opening a vial a day, so administering 10 vaccines a day. So if 10 vaccines finish within 2 hours, they're done by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. But it's from 1 to 4 p.m. But I am confident that we're gonna finish all that age group fast as soon as we get those 250 through DSHS, because a lot of them have already been getting them, and then we will vaccinate about 250 in conjunction with DSHS and the school and us. So that age range group is not a lot compared to everyone else, the 18 and older, and those we have already taken care of for the most part. And we're still taking care of them because we're still vaccinating plenty of first doses. Not a lot, where the jump came up with the booster. Since I mentioned we did vaccinate about 224 within 2 weeks, but not every day. It was like we're talking about 6 days. We did 224 boosters. And then today, before I came to court, I already saw a line of people outside, so we're expecting a rush today as well. So we will continue vaccinating Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays with the booster at the community center. We push out those posts, to advertise to the people. But I also wanted to remind the court, if you know of anybody that needs to be vaccinated at their house, to reach out to us, so they can reach out to you all reach out to us. But we just wanna make sure everybody has accessibility to the vaccine, even if they cannot go out. They don't have to be totally bedbound. If they're scared, if they don't wanna go because there's a lot of people, we can do that too. We'll take care of them at their own house. It's just kinda hard to pinpoint who are those people. That's why we asked for them to try and reach out to us, to the fire station or through you all, and you all reach out to us, whatever works.
Very well.
Alright.
Thank you, Danny.
Anybody have any questions before we? No good?
Sounds good, Chief.
Alright, thank you, appreciate it.
Sheriff, I know. Morning, Sheriff.
How are you? Good.
Good.
Commissioner.
Morning.
Real quick on the tower, I just wanna make it aware, we've been finding some MOUs that were done in the past. So we just wanna bring, probably a meeting with those agencies that have had MOUs with Zapata County.
Okay.
The Sheriff's Office. Cause we will be disconnecting for a couple of hours service while we do maintenance and some other work on the towers. So we just wanna bring them on notice that they will need to redo the MOU with the Sheriff's Office in the county. If not, they won't have access to be digitally, communicating with other entities here in the county. It's gonna cost to fix a good amount of money, plus as well as the monthly maintenance. So we just wanna bring them over.
I think the congressman, I'm not sure, Joe told you, I forgot, Stone Garden, he said there was gonna be a significant increase in funding, coming our way. Can any of those funds be used to tower, or how are you funding those tower upgrades?
We're looking into it through the matter of Stone Garden and also through the
Lone Star,
Lone Star.
Operation Lone Star,
Yes.
yes, okay.
DPS is helping us out a lot. The governor's office helping us out a lot with the tower. But it is a matter of everybody being connected together, so we need to redo all those MOUs, so everybody's
Yes.
on the same page.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Joe has any other information on that.
Currently, the tower is about 134% over capacity, above.
As far as having dishes and weight?
As far as weight. So, but most of that equipment is obsolete. Most of that equipment is equipment that a company or an agency stopped using and did not send someone to go
And actually remove
replace
it,
it.
take a while.
But fortunately, with the funds from the Office of the Governor and some excessive funds that we have over from Stone Garden, we're gonna be able to repair and replace a lot of the
Okay,
equipment.
yeah, I know, that's a pretty tall tower, I think, especially that one on the north end of town. Is
Yeah.
that where most of the equipment is on that tower?
It's gonna be the one by the regional jail.
By the regional jail, okay.
Yes. That one has a couple of loose cables already that we need to reattach. And then replace a few of the antennas that with all the weathering and everything that's
Sure.
happened throughout the years. It's
But I think you did have it inspected, your department,
Mhm.
and so it's in reasonably good shape.
Yes.
With some of those, I guess, maintenance issues that we need to do to it.
And just to keep everybody aware, the disconnection will be for about 2 to 4 hours while they do work on it. But then we do have to reevaluate the MOUs, whether they need their equipment there or not, or they've gone elsewhere, other companies.
So those MOUs are mainly with law enforcement, or there's private entities too?
I believe there's private entities as well. So those people, if we don't find an MOU, they're gonna be disconnected and taken down. The equipment will be taken down.
And there's there's 3 shelters there. One of them is private. We don't know who it belongs to.
We've
So-
been trying to find who's the owner of it. And basically, we don't know who it is. There's some servers, some equipment that we're just gonna place there and remove,
Yeah.
and for the entities to come pick up. I have made contact with DPS, the fire department, EMS, also the tick inspectors, DHS, they're aware, and they'll be receiving a letter from us welcoming them, if they wanna get on digitally and do an MOU, and then we'll go from there. I'll keep you posted on the, agencies that will be on the towers.
Okay, very, very good.
Sheriff, I live in roadside park, the one that's 3 miles north of San Ignacio on the
Mhm.
west side. Their building, is it a tower or what is it there? Have y'all seen it by the roadside park on the west side?
I've seen it, but I don't know if it's a tower or not. I know we've been in contact with DPS to do another tower as an emergency for the upcoming weather that's coming. So we can have contact in San Ignacio as well with, local law enforcement and state and federal
And it's
agencies.
just right there by the roadside park, like you can see it right next to it. And I know that they have something there, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know if, when I get some information, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
On the information here for the month, on total inmates, 160,360, but with everything else added to it, phone calls, miscellaneous and bond fees, it's a total of 178,126.83 for the
Very
jail.
good. Yes, sir. Good month, help your department and help the county out with their revenues, yeah.
Hopefully
certainly.
we can do
If
better.
we stay on that pace, we'll do better than what we budgeted to, as a revenue for the
Yes,
year.
sir.
So, we got- yeah, that's
And
good.
there's one more last thing I wanna,
I just wanted to ask while we're on the jail, those improvements have been completed, sure?
On the showers and
Yeah.
everything, yes, they're about done. We just need one more.
Okay, good.
And that's it. We'll be good with the showers, and we're ready for the inspection.
Okay, great, yes.
Go ahead, Joe.
so our 911 system, we're improving it, and, soon we will be able to have digital or, face-to-face, what do you call that? Virtual, 911 callers. So in case that someone's lost, doesn't know where they're at, we can quickly send a link to their phone and they agree to it, and we will be able to see them on the phone.
That's very important.
We also have the text capability. If you don't have service to call out or whatever, send a text to 911, and we have the capability of receiving the text, and we can drop a pin to get coordinates to get to you as soon as possible.
And Joe mentioned that, that meeting that DPS hosted, or the breakfast with the law enforcement, which is a very productive meeting, and Joe mentioned that capability is coming to your department. And of course, DPS with Operation Lone Star will have a significant presence in our county, I guess, for the foreseeable future. I think all of us have seen the additional troopers on the highway, and that is part of Operation Lone Star. And of course, the county commissioners court has made an agreement with the Texas military to allow them to use county property to build a base camp for the Texas National Guard to help in that operation too. So there'll be a significant amount of soldiers in our area, National Guards. I think it's gonna be a good economic period for our community. Our local businesses will do well, and they'll help controlling, trying to secure the border. So, yeah, there's gonna be a very active period. I think maybe the downside of this is there may be a little bit longer lines at DQ and McDonald's now because of.
We are trying to make contact with local ranchers, Judge, to try to gain access and just mainly deter and be in their properties, just so they can see that there's presence there.
Yes.
And we just want to reach out to them if they want to come by the office. That way we can give them the information that they need.
And I think that topic was brought up by the DPS department as far as, there's been talk of the governor's with his initiative about fencing on private property, and of course, it's all voluntary as ranch owners,
Yes.
landowners. That may be coming to Zapata County, that.
The fencing and the connection boxes, Judge,
Yes.
which are the steel containers that you can put in your private property right before the 307.
Yeah.
They will provide that, the governor's office, but that's on a voluntary basis if the ranch owner wants to utilize it.
And we did explain to him that we did declare a declaration here, and we are requesting funds, and we're hopeful to be receiving those funds in the near future. Any update on that?
They're still working on the particulars on that. I know that we are in there to get funding. They just need to exactly, how much is gonna be allocated to the different units.
I think the major, DPS major that was, heading the meeting did mention that there's 2 counties that are already, doing those criminal trespass courts, and they're averaging, about 30 to 40, a day.
Yes.
So that the courts will be busy if that's the number that we'll be seeing down here. He also mentioned that, there will be a processing center, built in Webb County, and any activity or any arrest, they will be processed there in Webb County. So I don't know how your jail expansion project will come into that. Maybe once it's completed, maybe we can house some of those, inmates.
But basically, we're looking into the people that keep on committing crimes of the human smuggling, trespassing. They would be, the people that would be housed here for long-term, quite a while, instead of just the rotating in and out processing center.
And of course, the Border Patrol was there at the meeting, and, of course, your department has always cooperated with them and worked really close with them. So it's all gonna be, I guess they wanna be as transparent as possible with the local population, with the local landowners, and really, work on permission.
Yes.
If you grant them access, that they will, gain access to your property, but, they will try to work with all the landowners to make sure that it's a good, partnership.
So far, we've had 4 landowners that have agreed that have ranches to the river that they want assistance.
They want to sit there and
Yes.
fencing, yes.
So it's.
And it can be a verbal agreement to allow, National Guard.
Yes.
Soldiers into your property. I basically did that at my house. The Paradise Point area is certainly an area that has seen a lot of activity over the years, and so they're there. It just takes a verbal agreement, verbal commitment from the landowner.
And the hours of operation, also, I know some of the people lease out their ranching for hunting. We also gonna respect that. If they tell us we can't go in from certain hours,
Exactly,
we won't.
yes.
If we can do it just at night, we will. It just depends on the rancher's consent, what they need.
So Sergeant Williams, the local sergeant here, said he'll be hosting more events
Yes.
with ranchers and landowners and just townsfolk that wanna see and hear what their operation is consisting of, and so everybody can feel up to date on what's going on in our community.
And, we need to wear our seatbelts and not speed because.
Oh, yes. I think, and I don't know, and I'm sure the number fluctuates, but the question was asked, how many troopers are currently here in Zapata County? I think the number 40 came out, so
Yes.
there's 40 troopers protecting our highways. So yeah, we need to go back to all the rules that you studied when
Yes,
you
sir.
took driver's ed.
Yes.
Make sure you follow.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Judge, I just want to communicate to the public that USDA will be coming tomorrow to San Ignacio. And, we're gonna continue with, they're teaching us how to fill out the
Yes.
application. So we strongly wanna get, like you said, the 62-year and over, so they can repair their bathrooms, handicap ramping outside, that they need their handicap ramps. So we'll be in San Ignacio tomorrow at 10. So anybody's welcome if they want to go by and kind of fill out an application. I know it's a lengthy application, but we'll be there. And I'm gonna try to have somebody helping out at the pavilion, maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week, so they can fill out
That's
the
important,
application.
yes. I think, of course, our office, Monica and Roxy are
Yes, I
available.
sent them
We've been
to
doing that
Monica.
for
Yes.
many, many years, so
Yes.
Monica is very familiar with the process, and so, but yes, any extra help that we can get, absolutely. And then they welcome that.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I've got some data here on our vaccinations. We're up to 65 fully vaccinated. The county, we're at 80.45%. Now we're including, of course, the 5-year-olds, the 5+ for 1 dose, we're at 70%. Fully vaccinated, age 5 and over, 61.26%. I think the good news is, active cases in our county, we're down to 4 active cases, which is, I haven't seen that number in such a long time, and so it's important that we continue the vaccination process, but these are all good numbers. Unfortunately, we have suffered 45 deaths in our county, so it has taken a significant toll on it, but the numbers are really improving. I think that the population, all our residents are are cooperating and making sure that they get vaccinated, so I think, our numbers are really looking good, and that's all good news. Any other communications, commissioners? If not, we'll move on to public comment. This section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioners Court on any items on the agenda. Any members of the public wish to address the court at this time? If not, we'll move on to item number 6, is approval of invoices. And we had invoices, from 10/22/2021 through 11/4/2021, for a total of $912,547.37.
Motion moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to approve the invoices as presented, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Item number 7 is approval of treasurer's report. Mr. Salinas, good morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Morning.
We went ahead and passed out the treasurer's report earlier, so it should be there in front of you. The first page shows the investments at Zapata National Bank, which is our depository. We have a total of $8,884,659.49 in total CDs. Interest earned for the month was $2,601.68. And year-to-date, we earned $45,902.83. And after that, there's a couple of pages, and it's just the breakdown of the investments. They're in there for 90 days. I'm gonna turn to page 5, and that shows our checking accounts that we still have open. Some of these accounts still have not been consolidated with our new checking account. But the operating account has an opening balance of $1,665,893.94. Rent deposits of $569,507.96. We expensed out of there $1,951,428.51. And we had an ending balance of $283,973.39. The general fund, right there, we haven't closed it yet, because we're getting a lot of direct deposits from the grants, and we've got to contact a lot of agencies.
Right.
We've communicated with the fire department, and Lorena was gonna notify the collecting agency that they use to let everybody deposit into the new checking account. So, that one's still there for that reason.
Mr. Salinas, how are we gonna cover today's invoices if we only have 283,000?
No,
This
it's in the
includes
other,
it?
it's in the other report. We have more money.
Okay, all right.
On the new account.
Okay.
But that's on another report.
Okay.
That's on the second page after this.
Second, okay. good.
Yeah. And then there's the, I'd like to point out, the waterworks also, we're leaving it open because we are getting all the credit card payments and the online payments going into this account. But this one had a beginning balance of $38,549.77, and there was $136,848.32 deposits, and we had expense out of there $8,035.24, and we had an ending balance of $362.85, and we just gotta take that money out and put it into the operating account. The following page, which is page 6, are the other checking accounts that are held by other elected officials. I'm not gonna go over all those. They total $1,366,686.57, and all those accounts had a total deposit of $2,807,544.28. The expenses out of those accounts were $384,444.50. Any balance at the end of the month for all those checking accounts was $3,789,786.35. And this is the other report that we have, the consolidated cash.
Okay, so you had some money in the general fund?
Yes, we have money there.
Okay.
So, but as I need money, I have some CDs that are still owed to the general fund that I can just go ahead and move into the account.
Okay, and I saw that the tax collector did start receiving tax money, so
Yes,
I think
so-
she'll be transferring some of those funds.
Yes, we're getting money from the tax office, so
Okay.
that'll keep it safe. So So this is the other report, if you wanna know the balance of those checking accounts, you look at on this balance sheet, you look at the credit balances on the
Sure.
far column. And those are the balances in those checking accounts. Page number 7 are the checks that, we issued a total $1,405,811.96, all the different operating accounts. And, year to date, it's the same amount that we're starting the new fiscal year, $1,405,811.96. Following page shows, the total checks issued for all funds, $1,966,746. Out of the general fund was $1,405,811.96, which is the same amount of the previous year. Page number 9 shows the electricity. I know it's a small amount, but we wait until the audit department processes the payments for the electricity. The only payment that was made for the month of October was $378.42. And, we haven't paid the water bill either, so that doesn't reflect here until they're processed by the audit department. Page 10 is the, check that comes from Hillcorp Energy. And for the month of October, we get a direct deposit, and that check came in at $8,255.01. And that's, the only amount that I'm reflecting, because we're gonna start the new fiscal year. Page number 11 shows the rental income. National Civic Center brought in $500 for the month of October. And you go across, the pavilion deposited $1,450. The Zapata Community Center, $1,550. And, that's all the rental money that we received for the month of October that was reported at the treasury. Page number 12 shows the monthly revenues for the, deposit by a county clerk in Fund 10 for the month of October, $8,839. Then you move over to the district clerk into Fund 10, $4,067.38. And the very last column is that our sales tax came in at $143.53.80 for the month of October. Page 13 is the landfill check for the month of October was $23,425. The jail was $242,828.79, which is probably the prior month, because the sheriff just handed out the report for the billings of the month of October.
Yeah, so
that's
that'll be
probably gonna
separate.
reflect next month. Whenever we get it, we'll reflect it on that here, on that right away. He reported $160,360.19, but what I'm reflecting here is what came into the checking account for the month of October.
Right.
So, whatever, the sheriff billed for October will be reflected in the upcoming months, on that. Jail telephone was $5,495.15, jail bond fees, $360. Our EMS deposited $31,707.17 for the month of October. The next page is, what the JPs deposited for the month of October. JP number 1 brought in $9,198.08. JP number 2, there's zeros. But if you want to know the amount that was deposited on Friday, it's not recorded here because I've got to record what came in the month of October because we're already in November. But they brought in a deposit of $16,065.63. And that'll be reflected on the November amount. Plus, what if they bring money in the month of November, it'll be a bigger amount, reflecting the month of November. JP number 3 deposited $276. Our office did call up there. I believe the secretary's out on medical leave. I think there's money there, but the report hasn't been done, so whenever that secretary comes back, whenever they bring the money down to the Treasury Department, we'll report that. So the only thing, amount that we got was $276. JP number 4 brought in $6,401.42. The following report is just the overtime that I provide to the board, that we pay, and that's water works and the sewer department. And it's their
Motion by Commissioner Garza to approve treasury report as presented, second by Commissioner Mendoza. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 8 is approval of checks issued, and we have checks from 10/22/2021 through 11/4/2021, for a total of, $912,547.37. Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve as presented, second by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 9 is tax assessor collector's departmental report. Ms. Mendoza, good morning.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's short, I gave you 2 million.
No, I don't, but I've got 2 reports.
No, that's. I'm just joking. Okay, please excuse the 2019, that was our total for 2020, 90.78% collection.
Okay.
Our collection is, right now for 2021 is 21.02%. And of course, that is because the statements went out late. They went out in October the 15th, but we extended the, October discount till Friday last week.
Okay, good.
So, we're gonna go ahead and start, collecting our regular November fees. Okay, for the general fund, we had a total collection of 1.476,494.08. Interest and sinking, we had 563,340.77. Farm to market, we had 34.85. Special road and bridge, we had 160,626.70. We paid our delinquent attorneys 12,470.43. Fees and collections, we had alcoholic beverages license $60, tax certificates $24, hotel tax 9,592.57, and then interest earnings 27.93. Our total collections for the month of October was $2,222,671.33. Our, of course, our hotel, starting off with 9,592.57 is our balance of our, what we collected. And year to date, for last, for the hotel is 114,899,83 cents. We have some refunds that were paid out in the back. Of course, these, are overpayments, escrow payments that, of course, taxpayers paid, overpaid. So, or they paid into the account, whatever's left over, we send them back their refunds. So if there's any question, I would like to mention though, and I know that maybe I might not have said it when it came up, but, I know I had an issue with a check for the postage. That was also part of the reason why it went out late. I submitted a PO in, September 21st, I believe, and it was late for the meeting, so it didn't get posted, and then, we didn't get it till after October, so.
As far as being able to fund your postage?
Yes, I mean, we had the
I
money,
didn't-
the money was there,
Right.
but
Well,
they.
it was sent out, but they received it, but they didn't know they received it or something like that, or?
No, it was sent out, we overnighted it,
Huh?
and then we wanted to do a balance, a wire transfer. Pepita wanted to do a wire transfer, and it didn't, that wasn't something that they do. So we had to overnight it, and that also took a couple of days, it's not really an overnight, but it took a couple of days, and of course.
So it has to be paid in advance, Mr. Mendoza, or?
Yes, because they have to have the postage in hand to be able to process the.
I was under the impression that, they would add the postage and then bill.
No, because it's not ours here. It's-
Okay, it's for all the
our-
departments.
Yes, it's our
think
So-
in instances like that, I think, certainly time is money in this
Yes.
case, so we
Definitely.
need to make sure that we can, get those payments approved.
It's
If, you know,
kind
if it's
of,
on an
to me,
emergency
it's-
basis, and,
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
And we do that, yeah.
But,
Yeah, and it's like travel or classes that, that we go to, that those get approved. This is
And-
something that should.
And we have that for
should get
utilities, like electricity,
Sure,
water.
yeah,
so-
yeah.
So that was just my
Okay.
concern.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
We'll,
Lewis.
move on to reports and presentations. We have a presentation on the Medicare store, Mr. René Rivera.
I don't believe they're here yet.
Okay. We'll, move on to the action item. We'll deliberate and consider action. Item number 11 is to consider bids for the Helping Hands Food Pantry Project. Salinas, I know you've been wanting to make some improvements there at the food pantry.
Yes, Judge, I went ahead and had the item tabled at the last meeting, cause we got just a lump sum, quote. I contacted the same individual, and he was supposed to bring in the bid, just like the one I put together here in the packet. I contacted this other, gentleman, Mr. Chapa, and the one doing the, remodeling of the Tejano restaurant. He said that he was pretty busy, that he would get back with me, and I said, well, I need to present it in court. So this was the only one that I got, but I thought that it was very reasonable, so I'm presenting it to the court for approval.
Is it the same company that did the installation for the addition?
Yes, the installation is the same company, Judge. I went ahead and looked into it, because, I had a question on the type of installation. When I spoke to the owner of the, company, I had not talked to him about the difference between the original foam that they spray the homes with. The one that we're getting is the commercial type. It's the, closed cell spray, and he went into explaining to me that it's, low expanding, so it doesn't expand like the normal installation that they do at homes. It's sort of like a plastic that forms, it only expands like an inch and a quarter, but it's like rock solid, it controls the moisture and will air condition the warehouse. So, and the cost, because that was my main concern, yeah, it's got like a 40% higher than the original.
So this is 10,512 would be the
Yes,
cost?
without, I sort of crossed out the tax. So the total for the installation would be $10,512.70.
Judge, for the total on the installation, it's 10,512.70, and then with the two, bids for Mr. Tomas Chapa, the total comes out to 12,412 with 70 cents. I'll make a motion that we approve the, bids as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis, to approve, so Mr. Chapa will be actually removing the old installation that is falling apart, I guess.
Yes, he went and he, gave me a quote of, like what he turned in right here.
Yeah.
Was removing it and trashing the, whatever he's gonna remove.
Okay.
Just leaving it, totally clean, so that the, company can come and spray the building.
Okay, so motion and second, all those in favor, any other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. And this will be coming out of the non-department maintenance and construction?
Yeah, building
I
construction.
think we've already hit it pretty hard this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the first month.
No, I think he's gonna be disposing of the,
He's gonna be disposing, yeah, the old installation that he's gonna remove, the one on the ceiling and the walls, the wall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there at the food pantry, yeah, I guess that old type insulation, the fiberglass type is sagging, and then a lot of it is, yeah.
their needed improvement.
Yes. Item number 12 is to consider bids, for the Zapata County Cemetery Concrete Stands Project.
Motion to approve, Judge, it's a total of $2,300.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Elizondo. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we'll be doing, the entrance of Salinas, or?
It's all the little stands, on the entrance, there's a big, flower pot that doesn't have anything. That
Yeah.
I asked them to take care of that one also, but there's some where we have the little, the boulevard, the pines are covered with those, round pines,
Uh-huh.
and they're very deteriorated, so.
Also, we're gonna fix all those?
Fix all of those, and
The
then.
pedestals.
The pedestals, and then where we have the palm trees, there's a lot of empty space between the palm trees. So he's gonna build 4 brand new ones, so that's all included on this quote. Restoring 5 existing ones that are in pretty bad shape and doing 4 brand new ones. So that's the 23, what's it?
Okay, and this will be coming from the cemetery fund?
Well, it's out of the cemetery fund, yes.
Okay.
I'll modify my motion, Mayor, just to reflect out of the cemetery fund.
Got it.
Got a motion and a second, a motion by Commissioner Mendoza, second by Commissioner Elizondo. All those in favor say aye. Aye, motion
The
carried.
other one that we left out, I don't know if you wanna go back to the, Helping Hands Pantry Project. Was, one that we overlooked was where we, build a portable,
Loading dock,
yeah, the loading dock. We don't have any backup,
but that was included in the overall cost, I
Oh,
think the
Yes,
Commissioner.
yes,
Oh,
yeah, it was a total of 12,000 for 1270.
Okay, so you put that one.
Yes, it was the information and the 2 bids by Mr.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Alright, thank you.
Item number 13 is to review and evaluate the certificates of obligation, series 2021, equipment purchase list, and possibly revise said list as per county departmental needs. I think, morning, Ms. Nelly, I think initially, you know, when we went after the certificates of obligation, we had some for real estate purchases, as the landfill, possibly the land purchase of the golf course, and then I guess we had equipment for different departments. And I guess speaking with our financial advisors, certainly there can be some changes to the equipment list as long as the Commissioners Court approves, those equipments and still be equipment. We don't have to spend all of it. We can actually pay back some of that debt if we decide not to use all of it, but I think in this case, we're wanting to, I guess we had identified a certain, well, I'll let you explain it to the court.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. We have, allocated, of course, for each precinct, the 300,000. We have purchased some equipment, which are our backhoes and our dump trucks. And for some departments, fire department, we have, already ordered, what they requested. Water plant is in the process of requesting some of the items already. As far as, other equipment, as trucks and, mowers and stuff that have not been purchased, there is a wait of, we're looking at, I've been in contact with several, dealerships through Buy Board. We're looking at a wait from 12 to 18 months. I did find one, which is a Ford dealership out of Silsby, I'm sorry. And they're maybe looking, maybe possibly in November, December, receiving some, and then probably mid-March. But these are the Ford units. Now, I don't know exactly, there's been other purchases that were requested.
What are the patrol cars that were ordered, how are those?
The patrol cars, I'm not sure exactly if they were ordered or not. Sheriff's Office has not contacted me regarding those. But I was under the understanding that it might be purchased through grant funds.
There is a possibility of grant funds, paying for those patrol units, and even forfeited funds, from a seizure that happened a couple of years ago that the district attorney is working on bringing those funds down to Zapata. So there's actually 3 possible funding sources for the patrol cars.
Judge, and I guess the clarification was more importantly for the equipment, for the grapple trucks?
The grapple truck, whether we
The
need,
grapple trucks.
I think we had initially
We
planned on,
ordered 3.
all 3, okay.
Well, we
Three
had,
were ordered.
we had requested 3, but those won't be delivered, I mean, they're not even in the assembly line that I'm aware of, till probably June or July. So that can be modified, we can go from 3 to 2 to 1, I mean, whatever the court decides. But those are the most expensive pieces of equipment that we would be looking at. So if there would be a possibility that we could pay that out of the funds allocated from the patrol units, I mean, that would be a big help to Road and Bridge.
Well, I mean, there's no timetable as far as ordering, those, I mean, especially they're gonna take so long to get here.
Right.
I think we'll have plenty of leeway to say, okay, if, let's say the funding does, I think, just speaking with the district attorney, he said possibly, and I spoke with him last week, that he is pressing the agency, the federal agency that is holding those funds, and he's hopeful by the start of the year that those funds may be turned over to him. So we could have that funding in place by the time the patrol cars are delivered to pay for them.
Yeah.
And then that extra monies that we have allocated, well, then we can decide, okay, do we need more equipment? Do we pay down debt? Do what? So we don't have to spend the entire amount.
The question here also is if we wait to place these orders, we might be looking at it longer.
Yeah.
Because the demands.
Well, I think the sheriff did place the orders. I was
Yeah.
thinking with me, I mean, that he did. He told me he had placed the order from a local dealership, that I think, Heavenville, I believe. This is where he had placed the order, for those, units. So, I don't know what the time frame or if that order went through, completely, but he had mentioned to me that, we are in need of patrol units, so.
And I know I've been speaking to some other commissioners, they're enjoying their units as well, for their crews, so the longer.
Yeah, trucks are hard to come by, so
Well,
that's gonna be a.
I think we should go, if we can go to buy board, we should go just regular. I'm not gonna wait 18 months.
And just go buy floor units,
Yeah.
whatever you can find them.
Mhm.
We would have to bid them out.
We would have to, I did speak to Mr. Figueroa, our county attorney, and he did advise me that he does recommend us to go through buy board just for the.
Yeah, because
fact
it'll-
because the savings.
Well, maybe the
It's more cost effective.
dealerships may be willing to price match
Yeah.
on buy board pricing, depending on the number of units.
I did request some, bids or quotes on just going through these.
18 months, Commissioner,
purchases.
but you won't be here.
I won't be here.
30 to 40,000, that's
That's
what
easy.
going through buy board, I can.
At least I wanna see him.
High ones.
We'll do a parade by your house.
Thank you, Commissioner. And the other one that, which order the grapplers right now?
Well,
The
those have already,
grapples have been
we're already in
Yeah.
line, but we were told that they wouldn't be delivered until probably June or July.
And we ordered 3.
We ordered.
Yeah.
So y'all wanna possibly cancel one today? Is that kind of what's on the agenda?
Well, we have 2 working right now, Judge, so if we add 2, then we'll have 4, one to service each precinct, which I think has been the goal for a long time.
So,
So we're
is
looking,
that, and that, cause they're like close to 200,000, 180,000?
they're about 175,000.
So, and those monies you would like to distribute to the precincts again, or how would?
The other department that reached out to me that was needing a dump truck is
Environmental.
Environmental.
and Waterville.
And we had, I think and it was all grouped as equipment, so we said, okay, we had 100,000 for a dump truck. It's really the entire balance, other than the real estate, it can be used for equipment.
Right.
So,
It can be used as however, as long as it is.
But are they requesting
classified
new
as-
dump trucks or pre-owned?
I know environmental is looking at it pre-owned.
Because the new one is about 80,000.
Yeah.
and, yeah, environment, he told me, he had identified one, and it was below $30,000, under 30,000.
I mean, I know some of the commissioners, after getting the new units, we're gonna have leftover dump trucks, because some of the.
If y'all can, share one with him, right, cause he's in desperate need to put ground cover at the landfill, so he needs one like, and I know y'all are using them too, but,
Well,
so,
we only have one, I mean, if I had 2 or more, I would.
so everybody just has one, so it,
As a matter of fact, I think Commissioner Solis doesn't have any.
yeah, so, that's working.
Are they going from the fridge or what?
As a matter of fact, with that money is left, you should buy a new motor.
Well, Judge, with the 2 grapple trucks, we're looking at about 350,000.
Okay.
So if we could possibly use some of those leftover funds from the patrol units, if they're funded through grants, that'll be a possibility.
Plus an extra 175, so you're looking at close to 700,000 that may be, because I think we had allocated $500,000 for patrol cars.
Yes.
So that's kind of.
550.
So it'll be
550.
550?
What was the extra 175 orders?
175 if we don't order the extra
The
third grapple
third
truck.
grapple
Oh,
truck.
yes.
And who's gonna get the new grapple truck?
We'll draw
Y'all gonna
straws.
flip it, draw
Yeah,
straws?
flip the coin. Or
I think that's
draw
something, what I would like to see is, okay, there's an extra, because I know it'll come back. If there's extra monies, I think we need to distribute wherever it gets new grapple trucks or however y'all figure it out. In the end, every precinct ends up with the same amount of funds to buy equipment with it. And, so I think that'd be the best, that way you can set your constituents, we all got the same, we might have a newer grapple truck, but we all have the same amount of money to purchase that equipment that we need. So I think each precinct is getting a backhoe, which is desperately needed. I know we're needing that type of equipment, and then from then on, was y'all decide on, do y'all want some trucks for your your foreman, your crews, or
So are you suggesting, Judge, that we add those 350 for the two grapple and divide them evenly amongst
Well,
the precincts?
well, for the one grapple, the 175 distributed, and then decide how are y'all gonna, either you're comfortable keeping the older units and the other precincts can get the new units, or y'all can share or whatever, but I think in the end, the money needs to be spread out evenly between the precincts.
If we would add if we would add the 350 and we divide the already 1.2 million, which we had originally allocated 300 per precinct, then we would be looking at about 387.5 per precinct.
But it wouldn't be 350, it'd be 175,000 extra, because
Well, but because we didn't include the grapple trucks, Judge, we didn't include them into the,
oh, they're included in part of the precinct purchases?
no, they're not.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, so.
Yeah, so those 350 are out, but the 175, I mean, that purchase are gonna be made.
Right.
But you're gonna have an extra 175
Right.
divided by 40,000 each, or 45, yeah.
And what we're forgetting right now, where are we gonna have the money to pay the CDL driver?
Yeah, well, that's another, I mean, who's
Well,
gonna drive them?
Well, but if the equipment doesn't get here till June or July, we're already gonna be working on the new budget, Commissioner, so we'll be able to maybe.
Which we discussed about during the budget
Yes. Yeah.
process.
And that was the reason why we didn't fund them for this budget cycle, so.
Because right now, I have CDL drivers driving, and they're not getting paid $15 an hour. That was one problem.
Well, we're paying them what we can afford, Commissioner.
Yes, we'll do that, so I guess we'll modify from 3 grapple trucks to 2.
And that extra 175 that was gonna be purchased outside, yours 300,000 can be divided 4 ways. And that allows everyone equal opportunity to.
Motion,
Grapple trucks, put them in them.
Yeah,
And
in the
then
end,
the
that's.
trucks.
Yeah.
Well, Commissioner Garza had said he would take the old unit.
yeah, I'll take the one that I have right now.
No, but we can
I'll get the one that I have.
No,
right
we
now.
can do it raffle, I mean, it doesn't matter, as long as they're working, that's all that matters.
Okay, I mean,
I can have the one that I is driving.
I know it's a very important piece of equipment that we use on a daily basis, so I think having 4 makes sense, because they certainly try to keep our community running, so.
Well, it's been a goal, Judge, I think, for many years, for each precinct to have its own,
Yeah.
because right now we're sharing 2 days a week.
And how are we with the motor graders? I know the motor grader that's in precinct 2, it's still in the shop again. And I think last year they just spent, what, 30,000?
Yeah.
35.
Closer to 40.
35, and it's in the shop again.
There's no money for new motor graders, so unless you wanna spend your entire budget on one. Yeah, so I think we just try to keep them running.
Do we have other motor graders?
Yes.
How many is?
Yes, we do.
I think I think we have 4. But, I think 2 precincts have less, I guess, use for them than,
I don't have none.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are the ones with the county roads.
1 and 3, and, well, 3, also, 1, 2, and 3 have, so.
That's the lead. And the,
So we've got units for that, we've got enough units to.
When a motion to table.
Okay, so we table it, right, or what do we do?
No.
Motion
What-
to,
To modify what we
Okay.
discussed in the Commissioner's Court right now.
okay, and, so the motion is to order only 2 grapple trucks and divide the proceeds of the cost of the 3rd grapple.
Between
Truck that
4
is
precincts.
gonna be canceled, between the commissioners' budgets and add them evenly to the commissioners'
so
budget.
it'll be an additional 43,750, Judge.
Yeah.
And the dump trucks for Martin, we can
Well,
also
we have,
purchase those?
we had 100,000 allocated for dump.
And Judge, how about the truck? Can we go by regular dealers or?
We'll have to go through the bidding process if they're not members of the buy board.
Okay.
It gets more complicated if you don't go through.
Yeah,
We
but
have to
I mean,
at
it can
least
still be
get
done, it can still be
3,
done, but it just.
At least 2 bids.
3 quotes from the different dealerships.
So, I'll get mine.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second by Commissioner.
That's a Solis.
That's Solis seconded the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 14 is to canvass election results from the November 2nd, 2021 constitutional amendment election.
Motion moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Garza. And I guess, Mary Jane, any comments on the election results?
Well, only 161 people came out to vote out of 7,772.
Wow.
2%, that is not good.
I voted.
I vote.
Me too. I know the judge did also.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We have some consent items.
I make a motion to approve 15 and 16.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to approve consent item 15 and 16, which are streetlights on 1309 Lincoln Street, 2013 Cedar Street, and then we have 410 Oriole Avenue, 5120 Pena Lane, 5127 Far Lane, 151 Madison, 5226 Vicky Lane, 5416 Rio Lane, 5402 One Lane, and 5204 Far Lane, and 5325 Betty Lane, and 308 Norton Drive. You take care of just the shores, Commissioner, it's good. We need lighting.
On number 16, Judge, there's 10 of them. Is that
Yeah,
the?
yeah, that's what we approve.
Yeah, we modified the allocation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have met with AEP. We were having, some issues, regarding reporting and fixing, those lights. They wanted to update all the files, so our office has reported, once again, all the lights that are out. I urge the public, if there's a street light in front of your house, and you notice that it's off, take a picture of, they usually have a pole number.
Yeah.
And report it to my office at 9920-765-9920, so we can get it fixed. We're paying for all those lights that are out.
They're
so
not working.
We need the public's help in that respect. I think all of us from time to time, take nighttime trips and go pole to pole. I certainly do that, and we have to report it, but AEP is now gonna be on top of it. I did speak to their supervisors, and they will, I think they fixed the entire list that we provided to them this past week. So, but there are plenty of lights that are still out.
Yeah, we're having a little bit more of an issue with Medina because they don't have phone numbers.
I know.
So now they're requesting GPS coordinates.
GPS coordinates.
So we have to basically go out there with an app that we have and give them exactly.
Yeah, it's important because it is costing the taxpayers that they're off, so, but.
So we're working on that.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to adjourn, second by Commissioner Mendoza. We are now adjourned.